There are 256 possible Twinborn combinations, and in the books, I feel like we only see like 5. In this video, I'm going to be giving the 7 most powerful Twinborn combinations. Hello World Hoppers, welcome to Cosmere Horizons, your one-stop shop for everything Cosmere. This video will be completely spoiler-free. Also, I'm not including any compounding because all of those would obviously win. Let me know in the comments down below what your favorite Twinborn combination is, and join the discussion over on Discord. For my first pick, I'm going to have Allomantic Bendalloy and Ferrochemical Pewter. That would give the abilities of creating a bubble that speeds up time and storing up your strength. I think this is insanely powerful just due to the fact that Bendalloy allows you to create your own sub-pocket fights on the battlefield, and with Pewter, on that 1v1 scenario, you're gonna win every single time. It allows you to pick people off one by one without taking a bunch of outside damage, and it really lets you use your Ferrochemical Pewter to its fullest extent. Additionally, with Bendalloy, it allows you to store up strength really quickly, or at least quickly in time. So if you burn Bendalloy, you can just store up Pewter for 10 minutes your time, but barely any time moves outside your bubble. So you can get an extra strength of Pewter when you really need it in a life or death situation. I think it's pretty cool. Just imagine you run across the battlefield, open up a bubble, boom, that person's down. Run to the next person, open up a bubble, boom, that person's down. Run to the next person, open up a bubble, that person's down. And you don't have to worry about outside fighting or fire. For my second pick, I'm gonna have Allomantic Pewter and Ferrochemical Gold, which allows you to get strength and store health. The main thing to note here is each of these metals are insanely powerful on their own regard, independently of each other. I mean, getting the extra strength from burning Pewter allows you to win a lot more fights without even having to store anything up. Additionally, being able to store health is just insanely powerful, especially in life or death situations when you're able to tap into that gold and able to survive in possible situations. However, I think the coolest part is if you're burning Pewter while you're storing health, it allows you to store more health and store it more quickly, which is really, really important because it takes a while to store up enough health. It basically makes gold even more powerful than it already is, which is just awesome. But yeah, these two metals go together really, really nicely, which is why it's on the list. For my third pick, it's gonna be Allomantic Steel and Ferrochemical Iron, which allows you to push metal objects away and also store weight. Yes, this is just wax, but also these two go together insanely well. And throughout the course of Era 2, we see this combination be used in so many different ways. We're able to see him change his weight, which affects what he's able to push and how much he's able to push it. You'd be able to make yourself really light and push yourself far, or really heavy and push that object even further. It allows you to use leverage to the best of your ability. Additionally, I think Ferrochemical Iron is one of the best ferrochemical metals due to the fact that storing your weight is just as beneficial as tapping your weight. And being able to use both the storing and the tapping is really, really unique and powerful because you don't get that all the time with ferrochemical metals. I don't really think it's up to debate the fact that this is on this list. I think it's just really powerful. It's a classic, yes, but dang, it's powerful. There's a reason he's the main character. Next up, we have Allomantic Brass and Ferrochemical Duralumin, which converts to being able to soothe and being able to store connection. This combo essentially makes you the ultimate charismatic person. Being able to tap connection and soothe in certain situations, you could get on the good side of almost any individual. Especially if you're traveling to different planets, you would be able to soothe them and they probably wouldn't realize they're being soothed because that's only really common practice on Scadru. Plus, having connection is just also really helpful for traveling. Wherever you go, you're able to establish a community very, very quickly. And having the combination of brass and duralumin is just, it's really gonna help in establishing social. Yes, this might not be the best for winning physical fights, but when it comes to social deductions and any sort of charismatic situation, this is the perfect pairing. You could literally weasel your way out of anything with any sort of conversational skills. Next up, we have Allomantic Chromium and Ferrochemical Steel, which allows you to leech metal reserves from others and store speed. The reason this would work really well is if you're going against any other Mistings or any other Twinborns or anything else, you would be able to deplete their metals instantly. If you have enough speed stored up, you could run boom, 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 target, target, and wipe their Allomantic reserves and leave them defend. And sure, they might have backup reserves, but using the speed, you could take that off of them. Like pickpocket, but it's not really pickpocketing because you're just moving super fast. It's using the advantage that ferrochemical steel provides to its fullest to create a disadvantage for your opponents. For my 6th pick, I have Allomantic Electrum and Ferrochemical Zinc, which allows you to see your own future and store mental speed. I think this combination is really powerful because Allomantic Electrum, I think, is really interesting of just the concept of seeing your own future and seeing basically your own ATM shadows. You would be able to detect danger very easily and figure out where your opponents would be coming from if you're in any danger. The addition of Ferrochemical Zinc allows you to figure out exactly what each shadow you're seeing means and be able to understand that to its fullest. It would also allow you to figure out the best response and course of action to seeing your own shadow. Having the mental speed while seeing your own shadows just gives you the same level of intelligence, I feel like, as normal people burning ATM. And for that, I feel like I had to put it on the list because it's just an insane combo. And for my last pick, I'm gonna have Allomantic Bendalloy and Ferrochemical Steel, which allows you to create a speed bubble and store speed. What makes this honestly the absolute best is that you're constantly able to store speed. As we see in Era 2, people who make their own time bubbles are able to control them to a certain extent, especially with how often they use it. So if you're able to build up enough skill to create a really small bubble around yourself and store speed during that, you would be able to live your life as just a normal person while constantly storing a ton of speed. The combination allows you to basically infinitely store up speed without any downsides other than going through a little bit of Bendalloy. And additionally, for those one-on-one fights that the Bendalloy provides, you're able to win those due to the fact that you're able to tap speed in the bubble. Like, it's absolutely sick. And then imagine when you're building up that much speed, how fast you would be able to go when the time comes to using it. And imagine if you tapped it all at once. You would literally be so fast. Like, you could probably cross like all of Roshar in like 5 minutes, dude. Like, you would go so fast. I think just due to the fact that you win all your Bendalloy fights, due to the fact that you're able to tap speed, as well as the fact that you're able to infinitely store up speed, is just too good to pass up. Like, it had to make the list. Thank you so much to my patrons, Mac, ZH23, Zaynep, and Leah, for your constant support. It means the absolute world to me. Also, I'm gonna be at C2E2 in Chicago next weekend on Sunday, probably near the Dragonsteel booth a lot of the time. Feel free to say hi. Thanks for watching.